happy asshole. On the 14th floor where the bathroom door don't lock. So happy we don't gotta worry about the cops. We could all get arrested for this, but when the police mix, I don't give a shit tonight. Alright. Now she walks in the bedroom fast, despite all the noise from the crowd. Now she's bedless on the bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on a deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Welcome in to episode 200 of Fired Up Sports. Check us out at firedupsports.com. It wouldn't be a Fired Up show without some sort of pre-show difficulties. And why would 200 be any different? I'm Mike Gilletto. Joining me as always, Mark Ramos. What's going on, Mark?
Not much, man. I'm happy to be here for the 200th episode. Congrats to the boys on that. That's an awesome accomplishment, and happy to be a part of it. So,
Absolutely. We're happy to have you along for the ride. And then we also have just, casually just strolling by. Got off a plane, a week ago? How long you been back now? Dom Console, what's going on? Hold on. Why can't I hear you anymore? What happened?
no.
What? He's mouthing something. I don't know what he's saying. God damn it, Dom.
I don't know.
I can hear you on the... Well, no.
Can you hear me on the
No, there's an echo. Holy shit, that was bad. It's off to a great start.
I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, well, you're coming out of the computer now. You're no longer coming out of my headphones.
That's fine.
I don't know what's going on. Very on brand for how we've been for 200 episodes. So I'm doing great. I'm tired.
That's totally fair. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I was panicking the entire intro. So where are we at? What did you ask? I'm sorry.
Basically, it's been how long since you've been home? You obviously went to Hawaii. You missed a few shows.
Yeah.
How was the trip? How's life been? We haven't heard from you in a few weeks.
So we got back last Sunday.
Okay.
And it life has hit me like a ton of bricks because it was so weird. Like before I went, I was like, it was just normal everyday life. And then I went on vacation and I came back and it was like, I was out of work for 5 days, like full 5 work days. And like, I just like everything looked different. It was just like my computer at work was just seemed a little too high. Everything just seemed like
what does that mean?
What?
What do you mean it was too high?
No, I'm just saying like getting back to the everyday life. It was like, was my computer like this last time I was here? Like it just felt like somebody was playing tricks on me. But yeah, no, I've been home for a little over a week. I'm just starting to like get back into like,
life
and a schedule.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's been life. Life has been life.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. And that's a far like travel too. Like that's not good. That's not taking a 2-hour plane ride. Like that's
right.
No joke.
It was six airplanes altogether.
That's a lot.
3 there, 3 back. As much as I want to go back, and I can't wait to go back, I will go back. I got to get away from an airplane for a while.
Yes. I could imagine.
And I love gravity. Me and gravity are tight. I love gravity. Gravity and I.
Yes.
Yes.
I like my feet on the ground where they were intended.
Yes. Big science guy. So yeah. I've been getting back to the normal everyday life, and I hate it.
That's totally. I can relate to that. That's totally fair. Before we kind of get started on any sort of like sports topics, I kind of wanted to take a trip down memory lane. Obviously, tonight's our 200th episode. I know you're gonna like this, Dom. Tonight's our 200th episode. So I kind of was thinking of how I could kind of, take it back to the glory days, right? And I was going through our old files and our old episodes, Dom, and April 27th, 2021. So
Yep.
that's a little over 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, give or take. Our very first episode.
Okay.
Okay.
So are we gonna like talk about it, or are you gonna play a clip?
I have a clip to play.
Okay, because I was gonna say before you play the clip, I think we talked about the NFL draft because the NFL draft
did.
was, was like 3 or 4 days away.
That's not this clip, but we did talk about
Okay.
the NFL draft.
Okay.
So you think about, you're leading up to the NFL draft. April, you probably are about to hit a Sixers playoff run. Would that have been the Atlanta series? Or no, what series is 2021?
Yeah, you and I were big on Ben Simmons in the Washington series, and then you and I did a total 180 and could not stand him the very next series against Atlanta.
That's actually a perfect segue because that's the clip I have. So let me see if this can work.
I had a feeling you were going to try to embarrass me somehow.
This isn't actually embarrassing you, I don't think. This is more, I think, me. Most of this clip, I think, is me. It's about a minute and a half long. And this kind of gives you like a landscape of Philadelphia sports in 2021 and how it can change in 4 years very quickly.
Also, before you play it,
Okay.
a little behind the scenes, the first episode that we did in your garage.
Correct.
And
live,
it was not together. Like a live thing. We were just like, oh, let's just give it a shot. And like we sat in your garage. And it was the only time you and I ever sat across from each other in person while doing this podcast.
Yes. It was in the garage where I just opened up GarageBand, hit record, and that was kind of it.
But, and then like I think the first 10 or 12 episodes we didn't do live. We just recorded on GarageBand and released them. But we did it over like Zoom or something.
Zoom, yes. Yep.
And then I would say like what episode 13 or 14 we started going live.
Yes, 2021 Zoom was very big.
Yes.
All right, so let's play this clip. Again, it kind of gives you the landscape. It's about a minute and a half long. It gives you the landscape of Philadelphia sports in 2021. And there's hot takes in this. I'll say that. So I'm going to hit play. Hopefully you hear it. I tried to test this out. Let's see if this works.
I'm going to go on a little tangent.
Can you hear it?
All right.
Let me get comfortable.
Yeah, get comfortable. Sit back, relax. All right. Now, for those that don't know me, your first time listening to me, whatever, I'm not exactly a huge basketball fan. I think I've been to like 3 Sixers games in my life.
And probably like 2 of them with me.
Probably. Actually, I think maybe all of them. Who knows? So I just think basketball for the most part is just boring to me. There's no defense, no contact. The players in the league pretty much are a bunch of pussies, for lack of a better term. I don't know, maybe I sound harsh, but that's just my viewpoint. I really haven't paid attention to the Sixers since like Allen Iverson.
That's fair. That's fair.
However, this current version of Sixers basketball is fun. They seemingly have a competent guy in charge in Daryl Morey.
We're recording, right?
We are.
You said
Yep,
that. You said that on record.
I did. They're a fun basketball team. They have Ben Simmons, who, while he has his faults, is very important to this basketball team. Very valuable. I mean, we've seen in the last 5 or 6 games what this team does without him. And then they have Joel Embiid, who has a legitimate chance at an MVP. This team is fun. So I say all that to tell you this: I'm officially jumping on the Sixers bandwagon.
Oh, we are recording.
I'm officially jumping on the Sixers bandwagon.
Oh boy,
the Phillies are a mediocre team. The Eagles front office is a dysfunctional mess, like we were just talking about.
They won a Super Bowl.
The Flyers aren't worth a pot to piss in. The Sixers are the best team in the city of Philadelphia.
Wow.
There you go. So that's the clip from 4 years ago, 4 and some change years ago.
To be fair, at that point, when we were recording that, that didn't seem all that hot. Obviously, Monday morning quarterback, but like, we really did think Ben Simmons was going to be the game changer. We really did think that. Well, I don't know if I ever thought Daryl Morey was going to. I knew what Daryl Morey was, but.
Yeah, but he seemed like he was going to be more competent than like the previous regime. Like It seemed like they were heading in the right direction.
They actually had like a real GM at that point. Like, Colangelo was like thrown in there, and the guy before him, like the 2 guys before him, it was Brett Brown, who got a year to do it, and then the guy before him was, was it Hinkie before? No, they had another guy before that. No, it was Colangelo.
Colangelo. Yeah. Then Hinkie before that. Yes.
So.
Yeah, it's just it's funny how it changes in 4 years. Like I called the Eagles and Phillies mediocre the Phillies were in the World Series like a year later, and the Eagles won a Super Bowl 3 years later, something
And they
like
were
that.
also in the Super Bowl.
In it 2 years, right? They were in the Super Bowl 2 years later that season, whatever it was. But yeah, it's just funny how. And my thing about the Flyers didn't change. They still aren't worth a pile of piss in. But it's just funny how I thought that clip was funny when I heard it back. And me, the biggest like Daryl Morey hater at this point, call him a competent GM. Like it's just how times have changed.
Yeah. No, I mean that. I was surprised to hear that. I was surprised to hear that, Mike.
Yes.
Based on things we've talked about on
Yes.
this, but no, it does. I think at that time, yeah, like you were saying, Dom, like that was totally like that wasn't all that hot of a take at that time. You know what I mean? And it'll change again. You know what I mean? And
For sure.
over the next couple seasons, you know what I mean? We'll feel differently about the teams and the players and
Well, with
how
this
they're doing.
guy, Mike, it might be the next couple of weeks, not a couple seasons. It might be like next week. He'll probably blow Daryl Morey again. Like
I don't know that I'm doing that. I don't know. I mean, it's the Sixers are already off to a great start with injury issues already. Like it's it's what are we, July 15th, and there's talk.
well, it's better to have an
Well-
injury July 15th than November 15th.
Yeah, but
I hear you.
it's gonna start
the
going into the season, and
the thing about it too, like with the PG stuff, and it isn't like it doesn't seem all that serious. Like from what's out there right now, it kind of seems like a cleanup procedure type of thing. But based on everything that we've experienced so far with the Sixers, it's like everybody's waiting for the next shoe to drop to be like, oh, it was a little bit more serious than that, and he's gonna miss camp, or you know what I mean. It's gonna snowball into this other thing. So that's
It's
how
definitely
it's
like it's definitely like a numbing thing. Like I'm just like, like I'm just like I didn't expect anything less.
Yeah.
Especially from like Paul George, who's 37 or whatever he is, 35, whatever, and he hasn't stayed healthy since he was like 30. So, on a team that already can't stay healthy. So it's just like what else did we expect at this point?
I said I'm going to be on Drunk on Broad again on Saturday. We're doing another show with Don Conaway and stuff, and we did the Drunk on the Court show and stuff. And I'm sure we're going to talk more in depth about the Paul George thing there too. And one of the funny things was that I remember, if you go back in those archives and listen to those shows, we had kind of laid out everything about the PG signing when it happened, but we really, really undersold. Well, like, oh, he's had some injuries here and there, but that's going to be all right. He's going to be fine as long as he's playing. And I don't think we realized how much of a negative impact that could have with that amount of money signed, and him not being there and playing. And it doesn't seem like there's any end in sight to that. So, but yeah, we definitely undersold it, I think, when he signed.
Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of feel similar, like in my opinion, where like especially when they signed him, like it was like one of those things I feel like leading up to free agency when you heard those rumors that like, they may sign him, they may, it's looking like it'll happen, and then you're like, oh, I don't want him, and then like finally when they sign him, you're like, you try to talk yourself into like, oh, well, he'll stay healthy. It's like you just need like 2 good years out of him, and then the other 2 years like is a lot, whatever. Right. Yeah, I kind of feel like the exact same way. Like as soon as they signed him, I was like, oh well, maybe it'll work out, and then it just obviously has not at this point so far. But
right,
at least we only have 3 more years left.
Yeah.
Just 3 more years, huh?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they could somehow get him off the books. But
what if he just retires before that? Can you do that?
I mean, sure, but I don't. Why would you?
I don't know. Getting paid all that money, why would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the league sits on the bench
right
a handful of the season anyway,
True, yes.
So I think they wouldn't blink an eye, shaving 20 something games off the regular season schedule, guys. I think LeBron made a comment about that not that long ago where he was saying, like, you know, you really need like 15 to 20 games or something to get ready for postseason basketball or something to that extent. I don't remember the exact quote, but, it's like, so, I mean, I guess regular season games, you only need that to get yourself ready for the postseason if you're going to be there. Because, the rest of the season's just kind of like a preseason. It's just like one large
Yeah.
preseason.
It really starts in January, late January. That's when like the league really starts. I feel like I said this last time I was on the show, but like I could be totally wrong, but I feel like they really should start at Christmas. They should start at Christmas, and you go into maybe a little bit into the summer, further into the summer when have the finals in July or whatever. Play less games, make them more meaningful. More guys will play. I mean, I even said this on the show when the playoffs started. Like watching the playoffs compared to the regular season, obviously the best product, the best 16 teams usually that make the playoffs. But just being able to watch stars play and like everybody plays and they play their hardest, like it was a good product, like for most of the playoffs. And like, who would have thought that like having the best players play every game, who would have thought that works? But I am definitely a fan of shortening the season. But they'll never do it because they'll probably try to add games.
The NHL has already done it. They're adding games starting 26.
I mean, the NFL too. The NFL is going to add an extra week.
Yep.
I know it's very different. Very.
17 games as opposed to 82. Yeah.
But like, I they're just trying to expand it even more. Like more teams, more. I'm for less teams, less games. You get more people.
Yeah. Here's what you do: split the NBA into 2 leagues, 15 teams apiece, and do relegation. The top 15 play for like the NBA title or whatever. Have 2 leagues.
Well, I don't know about I don't know about delegation in terms of like switching leagues like soccer does. Or is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, something similar.
Yeah, I don't think that works because for many reasons. I mean, but
it works with in European soccer. Works great.
It's a lot different though.
Sure. But it works.
Yeah, I just think they have to get rid of teams altogether.
I agree, but they're not going to do that. So the next best thing is relegation.
Nah.
Or don't even have to do league. Like, send them down to the G League or D League, whatever it's called now.
Well,
send them down there.
That's what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I don't
see you later.
Nah. I have many different reasons on why not, but we don't have to get into those. But
like who needs Memphis? Who needs New Orleans? Like nobody needs these teams.
I agree.
All right, Dom, you've obviously missed the last couple shows, so there really wasn't. We talked about the draft, the NBA draft, going into I think the last show before you left. There obviously I don't think was that big of a surprise, VJ Edgecombe, but now that they made the pick, what are your initial thoughts? We saw him a little bit in the one game. It was one game, right, in the summer league before he got hurt.
Yeah, he played tonight too. I think. Did
he play tonight? Okay.
Yeah. I think he got hurt. Hurt his finger or his hand or wrist. Or something.
Yep.
But I believe he's back tonight. I think they're playing right now. I'm a huge fan. I said that on the show, leading up the week or two before the draft, the last time I was on. I think I told you guys that I think he will handle the ball a little bit. I'm probably at this point, I kind of feel like I'm understating that because I think that they feel like he might very well be a guard. And that makes me happy. That makes me excited. I told you guys, I think that Maxi's better off the ball. Not that he can't be on the ball here and there. Ideally, it would be like a Golden State situation. Obviously, that's Golden State is an outlier, right? Like they're a team that was built different than every other team that's ever won or been successful. But what they did during the Durant, Curry, Clay years was, one night Durant gets the ball and it's his night. Then the next night it was Curry, then Curry again, and then the next night it was Clay's night, and each possession there was a different guy that would handle the ball. Durant would bring it up the court and facilitate. Then the next, Curry would do it mostly, but they would share the possession. They would share the facilitating duties. And I feel like with Edgecombe, that kind of gives you another guy to do that with a starting group. I don't know if he'll start, game one, starting at the one, but I think it gives them another guy where you have Maxey and Edgecombe and McCain, these guys that can all come out and kind of facilitate and play make, and that excites me. I don't care. Not that I don't care about the shot, but we can work on the shot. Maxey was not a great shooter coming out. Wasn't a great shooter his first year. Worked on it. Edgecombe could do the same thing. He's explosive, gets to the rim, rebounds, plays lockdown defense. I'm very excited. I think that they potentially have a star on their hands. And then we'll play that again in like 4 years when we're on episode 400. We'll see exactly how that goes.
Yes, in 3 years he'll be out of the league, and Ace Bailey will be like a Hall of Fame All-Star.
Dude, if he's out of the league in 3 years, you might find me at the bottom of a bridge somewhere.
Yes. Oh man. All right, one draft to the next. There's not a whole lot to talk about with the Flyers currently. Really no moves that they're making now. This offseason's pretty much complete. But you were in the air, I think, during the draft, right? Yes. When they made those picks. Yep. Now that you've heard the picks, obviously, unless you've been living under a rock the last few 3 weeks. But what were your initial thoughts?
Oh, I watched it live. It was very weird because you're flying over Iowa, I think it was, and I was on. I have YouTube TV, so I was watching it, and it would get cut out here and there, and it was so weird to see because the stations were from Iowa, so it would be
oh really?
How we have Philly, CW Philly or whatever,
NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Yeah, right. There would be Iowa stations, so that was kind of weird. But I watched it live.
Were they just talking about Caitlin Clark the whole time? Isn't she from Iowa?
She I don't know if she might be. She went to Iowa. I don't know where
she went to Iowa. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where
I knew there was a connection there somewhere.
But I watched it live. I love the pick. I know it's not something was the most ideal. Obviously they could have. They really need a number one center. Higgins was on the board. But everything I see about this kid, the things I read that he's his second most NHL ready, possibly. The potential of maybe even starting day one here. I think it would be really cool to watch him at Penn State with McKenna, but we'll see. But yeah, I just looking like the pure star that they need. Obviously it's not the number one center or number one defenseman, but I think that you could eventually find a guy to play center. Not a guy to play center, but I think if you have really, really good wingers, you can go out and get a guy who's just good at the center position. I don't think you need the superstar center, but I'm a big fan. He's a big, how I like my boys big.
You love him. You love him big.
Yeah, I love him. I'm not even gonna say it. I love him big, hard, and strong. I'm a big fan. I love the pick.
I could tell that was you censoring yourself too, by the way.
Yes. It's episode 200. We don't know whose grandmother's watching. I don't. I gotta stop.
Yep. There was a certain time where you talked about things that Russell Wilson did to his hands to Sierra. That was years ago.
That was probably single. No, not single. That's probably double.
It was early. It was early on.
Not far from single digit episode.
This is Fired Up After Dark.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, hey, Mark, have you ever heard the story? So it was around Christmas, this past Christmas. Mike, you have to tell him about the what was it? The Grinch.
The Grinch.
It was like a porno or something.
Oh, I forget. I don't even remember that. This guy. I remember of that, but I don't remember.
Turn on she thought.
Yes, it was my wife's friend.
That's who it was.
They went to this. I don't know if it was it was one of those free websites that you go to watch free movies that are in the theaters or whatever. Mm-hmm. Her friend goes to it. The kids want to watch The Grinch. Turns it on, and it is just erotica. I don't know. Her kids were like, "What is this going on?" Yes. Yeah. It was not pretty. Yeah, they were screaming, trying to shut the TV off. It wouldn't shut off. It was literally like a scene from a comedy movie. It was. Mom, I would have hated the beat.
I didn't know the Grinch and Cindy Lou Who loved each other like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I wouldn't know what to do in that scenario. I'm thankful it wasn't me.
Yeah.
How do you explain that to your kid? I don't know. I don't think they talked about it since. I wouldn't
No.
either, probably.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about it since.
I
I
forgot
was
about
talking
it.
about it every day.
I totally forgot about that. All right. So the All-Star game is going on tonight. MLB All-Star game. I kind of have it on as like kind of background, something to watch. But like we talk about this every time an All-Star game comes up. Like I feel like they've lost its luster a little bit. Like not just the MLB, like all the All-Star games. I feel like.
Do you think it's because we're older? Too.
I think there's a couple of reasons. I think that's probably it. That's probably one reason. But like you see these guys 24/7 already. Like when we were
Yeah.
younger, how often were you seeing these guys on the TV? Like that was the time to see all of them at once.
True.
And like to the home run derby, that's probably is like I don't as much as I did when I was a kid, probably because I'm older now. But like I hate what they've done to the format, and this is going on the last 10 years. Like how hard does it give him 10 outs? As many home runs as he can announce.
Well, I think it's because maybe viewership, like people don't watch it because it takes too long with the 10 outs.
Yeah, but like if you're just flying through it, they're getting through so many pitches in such a little amount of time. Like they can't even show every home run. Because it's
Also,
just one after another.
another huge problem with every sport, and baseball, honestly, the only one that does it correctly. It starts too late. Like I get it. They want the West Coast to watch. You know, it's
It's
8
not
o'clock.
8 o'clock. That's not that late. You get this thing done in 2 hours.
No, they were done at like 11:15.
Oh, the home run derby. No, the home run. Well, didn't it start at 7 or was it 8?
No, it started at 8.
Oh.
And then tonight it was 8:22 first pitch.
Oh, was
Like-
it that late?
Like you're yeah, and I get it. They're trying to get the West Coast, time to watch, get home to watch it. But yeah, it's just and baseball's the only one that does it right, except for the All-Star weekend or All-Star week is, they tell you first pitch is 6:45 or first pitch is 7:05, and they start exactly on that dot. But like it's every other sport, like it's like the finals, watching the NHL finals, like the puck drop at 8 o'clock and it didn't start till 8:40, and then
Yeah, it's bad.
the NFL is the worst at it.
Not 1 o'clock games. They start pretty much on time.
They start on time every single time, but
But like the prime
the
time game.
Sunday night primetime game, you're going to bed at midnight
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's brutal.
because half of it is commercials and know,
Halftime's fucking
their
30 minutes long.
game, their halftime show, and their post game. They want So I think that's also a big portion of like just sports in general, but like especially the All-Star game. Like tonight, it started at 8:22. Like I'm not staying up to watch this. Like I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I think it's all of the above. Like with those things. I also think too. I think with the home run derby and like those like specialty events, it's just kind of like, and it's a problem. Like just you can't. We're in a different time, I guess, but it's just like you need for an event like that, like the home run derby, you need like the who's who of like power hitters in the game to participate in that. You know what I mean? And in order to get like everybody, involved, but there's no way the league, no matter how much they may want that, there's no way they're going to turn around and be able to get like convince the Dodgers to get like Otani to be a part of the home run derby.
And yeah.
Like,
and
but like, I don't need Jazz Chisholm up there swinging and hitting 7 home runs or whatever he did. Like, I don't need that.
But he's on there, right? He says after, like, he wasn't really trying to hit, like, he didn't want to really like sacrifice any, like,
He don't want to mess up his swing. He
didn't
wanted
want to mess up his swing.
Yeah.
And but I just remember like some of it is nostalgia, right? Without a doubt. Like when you're a kid and you're seeing your guys in it, like whether your favorite ball player or your favorite team or a player from your favorite team rather, you're like 100% invested in that. But
yeah, remember Bobby Abreu home run derby?
Yeah.
Like that was
They went
incredible.
back to the Phillies. Abreu and Howard.
Yeah, it was incredible.
So I mean, like, but beyond that, it's just kind of like, I mean, I remember watching them growing up, and it was like appointment television for me because I
Yeah.
was a big my favorite non-Philly of all time is Ken Griffey Jr. and he had been in a bunch of them, growing up watching it, and like I wanted to see Junior hit them, you know what I mean? But he was in there with McGuire and Sosa and all these like household names in the game, and um, it's just not like that anymore, and um, it feels like too much like a business, you know what I mean? And nobody wants to get away from like that like I guess daily grind that the MLB season is, and I mean I can see both sides of it. I can see why a guy wouldn't want his swing to be messed up. You know what I mean? Because he's going to get it tenfold when he goes back to his city and he goes on an 0 for stretch. In games where they really need him. You know what I mean? It's I can understand that, but um, I don't know what the balance is. I think it's all the above, like all the things you guys mentioned. Like
And
why?
back to the home run derby is like the game today is just turned into obviously home run or strikeout. I feel like we see so many home runs. It's like anybody can do it nowadays. Whereas like before in the and it maybe nostalgia is a factor, but like before the Maguires, the Sosas, like it was just the elite level home run guys that were hitting home runs, and you really didn't see it all that often, other than those guys. Whereas like today, everybody can hit a home run, so it just doesn't seem as impressive anymore. Although the most impressive part of the home run derby was the kid robbing Caminero of the home run. It's the most impressive part of the night.
Yeah.
So I just looked up a list. The 2007 MLB home run derby.
Was that a Braves year?
No, that was 05 because
was 05,
Howard
okay.
won in 06.
Okay.
So real quick, the Howard thing, I just saw it yesterday. They posted the video. MLB posted a video of, I think it was the game. It was the winning home run. He hit the sign that says "hit the ball here." If you hit the ball there,
Video.
Yeah.
I guess there was like a charity thing, but so I looked up to 2007 because it was the following year after the Phillies went back to back. So Ryan Howard did it again to defend his title. Justin Morneau, Prince Fielder, Vladimir Guerrero, Magglio Ordonez, Albert Pujols, Alex Rios, Matt Holliday, Miguel Cabrera. Like that's Miguel Cabrera, Ryan Howard, even Prince Fielder and Vladdy, Pujols. Like those guys today are like Aaron Judge and Otani, and you guys are saying it. Like you just don't see it. And I think being 10, 11, 12 years old, and when we were that age, 3 years they were, watching your hero, like your heroes. These are your heroes. These are the guys that like, you look up to, and like I want to be a baseball player when I'm older, and like, it's a lot more fun. But nowadays it's like, yeah, it's like Kyle Schwarber's cool. I mean, he's like another guy, like like he's not like Superman to us, now that we're older. So
It's funny. I went back 10 years ago to the 2015 home run derby. Just kind of see like when things changed or whatever, and if still the elite guys in 2015, and two of the guys you named in 2007 were also in it in 2015.
really, was it Matt Holliday?
Nope.
Wasn't Guerrero, right?
Nope.
Prince Fielder,
Prince Fielder's one,
Pujols,
and Pujols is the other. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Todd Frazier won the home run derby this year in 2015, 10 years ago.
Yeah, see, that's where it like kind of takes like a turn.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it started, longer than 10 years ago. So I don't know when it started with the elite guys, not all being there, but
I mean, it's happened. It's the NBA's had the same problem with the dunk competition.
totally. Yep.
Like where they have G League guys doing it, like, and it's like they're using these events to try to like make stars, whereas like before it used to be that the stars participated in the event, and
it's like, why is Mac McClung at a NBA All-Star weekend?
Yeah, right. He's just there to dunk.
Yes.
Like LeBron has to stop being a baby. Just do it.
Yes.
Someone at some point would have to like, I don't know if it's like Ant Edwards or someone like that. One of those like marquee guys, like the younger guys. I think it'll change if like one of them decide to do it. You know what I mean? And then other guys will like want to do it. But until then, it just kind of it kind of loses its luster of like being like an event where you can really market it to uh, diehard baseball fans and even casual baseball fans that can sit down and watch that and know the guys that are in it. You know what I mean? And um, it's different now. It's just different. I don't know what the answer is other than to try to get the biggest names to do it and entice them in some way. But that's been unsuccessful for quite a while. Like in trying to get them to do it.
And you kind of see what the Derby did last night. I think this is the first year where they gave the winner $1 million as well.
Right.
So they're trying something different, and
yeah, but like
still can't get these guys.
Aaron Judge has $600 million, like however much his contract is. Does he need $1 million? Does he give a fuck about $1 million?
No, maybe not Judge, but like I don't know.
Like Shohei Ohtani just signed for $700 million or whatever it was. Like
Maybe like a guy like Ellie De La Cruz. Maybe a guy like Ellie De La Cruz says,
sure.
"I'll take $1 million," and he's a guy that is, kind of like the Ant Edwards, of the NBA, where like he's a younger star and like, maybe we can get,
yeah. O'Neal Cruz I thought was pretty entertaining.
Yeah,
last night.
That's when I stopped watching. Was in the first round, right as Cruz was finishing. Dude, he was ripping.
Yeah, he was.
He was ripping. Did either of you really quick? Did you see the first baseman from the Royals, Vinny Pasquantino? What's his name?
Yeah, Pasquantino. Yeah,
Pasquantino. Dude, I was just following him on Twitter. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
He tweeted, if you guys are wondering, yes, it's very scary to play first base when O'Neal Cruz is up.
Yes, he was on a roll last night.
Yeah.
They also got to pick a better park than Truist Park.
Well,
very boring ballpark.
It goes to every stadium. It's not like they picked it to pick it.
Saying, it's a very boring ballpark.
I agree.
Yeah, I like the home run derby to me. Like you need the nice backdrop. Nice. I don't know. It's too sterile of an environment, and it's fairly new stadium, isn't it? A couple years.
Yeah.
What 2015, 2016? Something
Is
like
it?
that? 2017.
I thought it was even newer than that.
Somewhere around there.
It's relatively new.
Well,
yeah.
And they were supposed to get it a couple years ago, but then like a whole political thing happened, and it got taken away.
Yeah.
And then I guess they gave it to them in the first year that it was eligible again, because they do it like 2 or 3 years in advance. They pick. So
2017 it opened.
Yeah, I think they were supposed to get it in 2021 or something, because they do like 2 or 3 years in advance. So they the next time it was available was 2021, and then everything happened that happened, and I guess 2025 was the next open slot. With the Phillies getting it next year, which obviously is like it's crazy. It's taken this.
It will be kind of. It will be kind of cool. It is crazy. It's taking long to come to Citizens Bank Park because it is. Yeah. It is a really nice park. Obviously, and maybe we're biased, but like,
no,
it's a really nice park.
I've said it on the show before. I tell everybody I've been to 6 or 7 different ballparks. Pro baseball ballparks. It is by far at least in the top. It might be number one, honestly. Like, and that's not even me being biased. Like, I think Baltimore is a little overrated, but it's similar in the sense of like the Phillies. They did everything right with the Phillies, and I think it was really ahead of its time. Like when they did it in 2003, 2004, whatever it was. Like I went to the Angel Stadium, and like that's from like the 60s, and you could tell like they renovated it and like a little bit like in the 90s, and they haven't really touched it since. So like I just think Citizens Bank is one of the better ones that I've been to. But I mean I don't think I'm being biased, but
I mean it's really not. It is crazy. It's taken this long to get the All-Star weekend here. So it will like again. I'm not a big All-Star game guy, not a big home run derby guy. It will be cool seeing it at Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to try hard to go to at least one of them.
Yeah, just to say that you went, you know what I mean, to see it.
Sure.
And yeah, so I mean that would be really cool. I'm looking forward to that when that finally happens.
Yep. That's kind of wild stat. You see that stat?
Yeah.
That's kind of nuts. Schwarber's
Especially,
the
like-
second Philly ever to have 30 home runs at the All-Star break. The only
It-
one, Mike Schmidt.
Wow.
It's kind of like with a team that had Ryan Howard and I know Utley had a couple 30+ season home runs, but still it's kind of wild.
Like 40% of this team's home runs is probably Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah.
You mentioned Dom. You mentioned Ryan Howard too. Like, I mean, I don't think maybe people do, but I don't know that people remember the rate that he was hitting homers at that time. Like,
You're talking to the two correct.
Yes.
yeah, all right, yeah. I'm a big piece guy, so that was I'm like, it, I mean,
Yeah, I mean when it fell off, it obviously happened kind of quickly, but like the 3 to 5 year stretch,
It was a 5 to 6 year stretch.
Yeah,
It was
mhm.
incredible. So Mark, me, Mike, and Mike's dad have this thing where we say, would you take Mike Trout's best 6 years or would you take Ryan Howard's best 6 years? And I still believe it. I think his dad still believes it. I don't know if Mike still believes it, but we agreed at the time that we would talk about it constantly. We would probably take Ryan Howard's best 6 years over Mike Trout's best 6
I don't
years.
think it's close, to be honest with you.
No, at least offensively.
right,
Yes.
right. Then you factor in the health and all that. I mean,
Yeah.
Trout's had he's had more trouble staying healthy than Howard did. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
both at their peaks. No, I don't think that's all that crazy. But I mean, he was such an essential part of all that, like to make those teams go. You know what I mean? And being the big run producer, in that spot. But I mean, like, yeah, that window that you guys are talking about. I mean, you had to be there to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
But he was something in his.
He was
actually
last night.
I went to his. Is he in the Phillies Wall of Fame? I think he's on the Phillies Wall.
Probably, I would
think
imagine.
so.
Yes.
Or I don't. Maybe not. Maybe not he may have. Was it his retirement night?
Might have been the retirement night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the 08 guys are on the wall yet.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I remember they honored him, and I went to the game that they did, and I was just telling you guys about Griffey Jr. and they had like on the scoreboard all the guys like that he knew or ran into over the years, like wish him well on his retirement and all that stuff. And Griffey Jr. was one of the guys, and that was like really cool for me as like a big Griffey Jr. fan, and then also a big Howard fan too. To see them like kind of show respect for each other like that was kind of cool.
So I have his stats right here. So 05 he wins Rookie of the Year. He hit 22-63 and hit 288. That's pretty good for a rookie. Like that's something you'd be happy with that. Dude, 2006 wins MVP, 58 homers, leads the league, 149 RBIs, leads the league, hits 313. 07, 47, 136, led the league in strikeouts, but he hit 268. 08, 48 and 146, hit 251. You can lead the league in strikeouts and you can hit 250. You're going to give me almost 50 bombs. 45 homers in 09, 45 homers, 141 RBIs. Hit 279. And then 2010, 31 and 108. Again, it kind of starts to take a little bit of a dip. 276. And then 2011, 33 and 116. Hit 253. But like just an incredible 5 or 6 year run. Just stupid.
Yeah.
And how many years was that over like 110, 100 RBIs? How many of those 6?
Over 110? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 6 years, yeah. Because 2010 he hit 108.
Yeah.
But honestly,
he was stupid.
2014 wasn't that bad either. I mean, his average was down, but 23 homers, 95 RBIs. He hit 223, but like
what year was that?
That version of him, like even 14, 15, and 16, honestly, the homers and RBIs, like you would think they were way worse than what they were. His average
and those teams started to stink too.
Right. So in 2014, 23 and 95, he hit 223. 2015, 23 and 77, 229. 2016, 25 and 59 and hit 196. But like just remembering Ryan Howard, like that seems way better than Maybe because we compared to the 48, 49,
Well,
50
yeah,
homers.
I mean, he was below 200. I mean,
Yeah.
and what did you say, 20 home runs?
I also kind of put that. I kind of bookend that run too with his injury in that.
Totally.
Like
Against
I
Cardinals.
couldn't against the Cardinals and him trying to get out of the box and uh, the looking back on it, it's like for somebody who's such a key essential part of that. Um, there was no more resounding like slamming the door shut on this what this run or this team was going to be like as far as they could take this was it, and there was no like better indication than um, something unfortunate like that happening on the last out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it was it sucked, but nah, man, he was a beast for the Phillies for a long time.
I had a baseball game that night. And I remember listening to it on the radio. I was driving home from my game and just listening to it. It was like I couldn't even imagine watching it live.
Yeah.
I've seen it, but like
Their
Yeah.
window slammed shut when he was on the ground. Like that's when the
Yeah,
game was over.
that's what it felt like. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like,
I kind of feel like him and Giroux are like the two guys, that, not the what if, but like we're just dealt the wrong hand, and they probably deserved more. Yeah, I think you could kind of put McNabb maybe in that a little bit. Like, I think we probably should have appreciated those guys a little bit more than what they, than we probably gave them
sure.
credit for.
I think people appreciate Howard.
Well, maybe that's the wrong word.
Like I'll give you the other two guys, but like there's a difference. Howard won a World Series. The other two
Sure.
guys didn't
Yeah.
win it.
I mean, he won an MVP. I maybe that's the wrong word I'm using. I'm trying to think of like I just kind of feel like him and Giroux were just like valued differently than maybe other, like do you remember these years that we're talking about? Like people would complain so much about the strikeouts.
Sure.
The guy's hitting 50 homers a year. Like I don't think he has over 200 strikeouts in his career. Like where like Schwarber does that every year.
Well,
Like
it's different game now. People don't care about strike.
sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. But like, I don't know. I just kind of feel like him and Drew are like in that same thing where like, I don't think people realized or appreciated it as much as they should have. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I agree with Drew and McNabb. Like McNabb obviously didn't win the big one, but like I don't even put it on him. And I know the year they got there, he had TO or whatever. But like Andy Reid refused to put him with any sort of competent wide receiver. Like he was throwing to slop his 95% of his career. But I think he gets a lot of undeserved hate. And Drew is just kind of was the captain for a large stretch of mediocre hockey.
And he was never supposed to be the best guy on the team, and they just tried. I mean, Voracek was, I think they thought he was going to be better than what he was. I think they were hoping for him to be the guy, maybe. But it just felt like Giroux needed to be the second or third best player on the team, and it just
the problem with Giroux was it kind of went downhill because people had false expectations, I guess, for lack of a better term, when Peter called him the greatest player in the world, and he just wasn't. Like he was going against Crosby, and he was like, "I was passing the torch. He's the greatest player in the world. He's better than Crosby," and people expected him to just always be that.
Sure, but I don't blame Laviolette for saying that because like. Take yourself back, just like we did at the start of this episode. Like you take yourself back to April of 2021, and Ben Simmons was supposed to be this great player. I think that coming into what was that Giroux's third year, whatever it was, fourth year, like he was supposed to become that guy, and he just never did because he never was. Like, but I mean, what else are you supposed to say? I remember when in like 2006, 2007. I don't know why I always remember this, but like Rex Grossman was the quarterback for Washington, and they asked him like, "What do you think this season? Or what are you expecting for this season?" He's like, "I think we're going to win the division. I think we're going to win the Super Bowl, and blah blah blah." Like, and they probably won like 4 games that year. But like, what else is he supposed to say?
Right? Oh, we're gonna be shit this year.
Right. Like, and I think that's the same thing with Giroux. I think Peter Laviolette maybe he did think that, but I think we're going maybe in that moment. that was maybe what people were thinking. And even if not, like that's what you say about your players, you know?
Yeah.
Going back to the Howard thing, like I think that Howard and Iverson are actually very much alike because during their time here, I think they were criticized. But now looking back 20 years later after Iverson, 25 years, 15 years after Howard, like you remember Howard because he won a World Series and did all those things. And we forget in the moment. And the same thing with Iverson. I think people were, by the end of Iverson, people were sick of him. And like nobody will ever admit that now. Like I remember being a kid and like listening to the radio and WIP and like they would just crush Iverson year after year for the last 3 or 4 years he was here. And they ran him out of town. And like now you think about Iverson, everybody loves Iverson. No, Iverson could do no wrong. Like I think him and Howard are kind of similar. And like it's been a long enough time to say, oh, like I don't remember hating him because he was such a great player.
Yeah.
But it happened in
He's
the
also
moment.
a guy. He's also a guy that never won.
Right.
Now,
But
again,
right, but
it
he's
might
a
not
Hall of
be
Famer. He's a Hall
sure,
of
and it
Famer.
might not be his
He
fault,
may
and-
very well be the
and
best.
similar, sure, and similar
athlete in that
to
franchise.
and
What'd you say?
similar to like Claude Giroux or McNabb, like not having receivers. Like Allen Iverson
Right.
didn't play with any
Sure.
great players. Like those teams they put in, with Iverson.
But
was a
I think the Iverson thing was like he's cocky.
Sure, yeah.
He goes to clubs. He goes to he runs his mouth and this, that, and the other.
He was a
Where I
diva.
think
Yeah,
Giroux and McNabb are kind of similar. I think that they're guys that are underappreciated, but like also just didn't have enough around them.
sure.
And they weren't. I don't know. I don't know much about Hockey Hall of Fame, so I don't know if Drew's like a Hockey Hall of Fame guy.
He'll
But
get in.
to me, I think McNabb does have enough to get into the Hall of Fame personally.
I agree.
I think there's. I agree with that as well. I think there's. Like I know in Drew's case, I think his career looks very similar to guys like guys that are in the Hall of Fame, the Hockey Hall of Fame, like Daniel Alfredson. His career trajectory is kind of similar to Claude's, and was a great player for a long time. And it's like we do that, and it happens. You're right in the moment. Like we criticize guys, but like we have the ability after years of like looking back at the big picture and seeing like, I think time will be a lot kinder to Claude Giroux's time with the Flyers. You know what I
Sure.
mean? For example, um,
It's gonna be way different in 20 years than it is McNabb because McNabb was the quarterback of the Eagles. The Eagles are number one in the city, and the quarterback is the most important position on a football team that is number one in the city. Like, it's a lot different. But
no, it
I
is.
hear your point.
It is, and I think with Donovan, like, people forget though that like, I mean, him and McNabb Reed era was like that was a stretch of a lot of good football, like consistently.
Great. Yeah.
And the organization really hadn't had that prior, so it was like it really kind of like was a foundation for things that came after that. Many years later. I don't think Donovan will ever get like credit for that. You know what I mean? But it's like, he was a part of a time where the organization was kind of a year in, year out winner. And there are so many people in the fan base that like they had experienced Eagles football in a completely different way. You know what I mean? 25, 30 years prior to that, there was a lot of losing, you know what I mean? So, I think like that always kind of, I always kind of wonder too, like, I mean, we use the championship as like the ultimate, like, measuring stick part of it. But I mean, I look at those things as team achievements, you know what I mean? And a lot of things have to break your way to win one. And, to hold that against someone's excellence for, year in, year out for well over a 5-year stretch. That's pretty hard to do. You're going to have like a lot of players fall short of that bar. You know what I mean? That were great players.
This is a debate that I did hear recently on. It was one of the sports radio stations, either WIP or the Fanatic, and I know it's my mistake for listening to those for longer than 5 minutes. But somebody, I forget the exact premise of the argument they were having, but it was basically like, Would you rather have, if you're a quarterback in the NFL, would you rather have Nick Foles' career or Dan Marino's career? And it's an absolute insane hypothetical.
Right.
Like, you're taking the Hall of Fame quarterback. Like, yeah, Nick Foles won one, but it's fucking Dan Marino. What are we doing?
Also, I think unfortunately the politics of personality.
Dom, your mic keeps cutting in and out. I don't know what's happening to you. Your mic keeps cutting in and out.
Am I good?
Yeah,
You're
you're
good
good
now.
now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just think it's like the politics of it, like the personality, like people were like, let's take it to baseball, like like people hate Bonds because he was an asshole. Like they don't hate the other steroid. Like David Ortiz is in the Hall of Fame, and he probably took steroids, but he's a likable guy. So like it's kind of similar like in basketball, like these guys that have never won anything that are winners. Iverson is a winner. Like he didn't literally win, but he was a winner mentality. Damian Lillard was that guy for a really long time. I kind of feel like he's kind of lost it a little bit. But Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, even though he's a scum like off the court, but Stockton, like these guys have never won anything that are winners in my eyes. Where
Right.
I think McNabb was in a city that probably cared about personality a little bit too much, and like he also had an ego, and like I think that's where like the disconnect was, and I think that's where like the people that decide to remember McNabb off the field more than on the field put his on the field against him. Just
Right.
because they didn't like his personality doesn't mean he wasn't a great quarterback or a good quarterback or whatever.
Right.
Like he just like you said, Mark, like those years were so successful. Like you went in every year expecting to compete. And like
Yeah.
it's like now, like right now, it's just the difference is they won 2 Super Bowls,
Right.
in this winning era. Like
And
so
that's why that made like that. No, I don't mean to cut you off though.
no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like to that point, like about that talk show segment, like about yeah, of course, like you're gonna take that.
Here's another one. Like winner.
You're gonna take Marino,
Yeah.
like if you're talking about the player, but you know what I mean. Like Nick Foles was Nick Foles was a part of this like lightning rod, lightning in a bottle moment that I don't think I'll ever forget. You know what I mean?
Totally.
He'll be a legend in this city for that. And um and he took on like, how the first one's always special anyway, but
Totally.
like he beat the man too. Like I mean like
Sure. Yeah. No.
he
It
beat the
was obviously
greatest,
incredible.
like it
It
was
was
an
not.
incredible feat.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a shame that like people will look at the totality of like his career, for example, and we'll look at it and talk about him being like this like average mediocre dude, like player, but he had this like really really awesome like memorable moment that like capitalized the team's first championship, like it was like
Sure.
or first Super
Yeah.
Bowl rather. So it was um like that guy should have a statue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's that just doesn't happen. And sometimes I think we want to like remember it differently. Like it was like, I mean, that team was killing people up into that like that entire season. They were running teams over, but it's still like, it's funny how that perception works. Like, but yeah, like
You could be mediocre and average, but he had those 2 games where it was lightning in a bottle, where McNabb's probably for most of his career was really, really good to great,
yeah,
but just have that one bad Super Bowl and like they're just remembered totally different.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's the Eli Manning effect. Like, Eli Manning is an incredibly average quarterback, but when it mattered the most, he made his absolute greatest. And
yeah,
I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but he's going to get in the Hall of Fame because of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of those teams, those Giants teams were, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, um, and Coughlin was like the perfect coach for that, you know what I mean? And it just for some reason the Pats couldn't figure them out when they ran into them, and
Yeah.
it was that's just sports. That's just competitive that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah.
But it just
It's a mixture of competition, luck.
God, Carroll just crushed that ball.
Yeah, he did.
Holy shit.
I think the NL's only won one game in the last like 10 years, right?
Have they really? I don't know.
NL's won like 9 of the last 10. But it's a combination of, there's 30 teams, 32 teams, whatever sport you're talking about. There's a level of who wants it the most, who's going to compete the most, and also just one team has to get a little bit of luck. Like in 2017, the Eagles were a great team. Like you said, they were steamrolling teams, but like at the same time, they got a little bit lucky in the department that Aaron Rodgers got hurt that year, and like there were like 3 or 4 big injuries. That's the lucky part, right? Like not that they won because they were good enough to win, and like they won games. Like they did everything right. They were coached right. They played hard. But like every single team that wins in every single sport has to get a little bit lucky. Every single one of them. And that was just the part that got them luckiest. It was that, they wind up playing Case Keenum in an NFC Championship game at home, where Rodgers got hurt that year, and there were like a list of injuries, and like you could look at the Golden State Warriors, you could look at the Detroit Red Wings, the years they won. Like they're every single team, no matter how great you are, you have to have a little bit of luck too.
Yeah, for sure.
Before we get out of here, I feel like we do have to talk a little bit about the MLB draft. Obviously, Phillies had an interesting draft style, just apparently picking a whole bunch of college pitchers. I think they're like first 7 picks or something like that were all college pitchers. Team can't hit and has no future of hitting, but let's just take a bunch of pitchers. Gage Woods, I think, is interesting from Arkansas, their first pick. Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. Who knows what these guys will become?
I saw a funny.
Hold on, Dom, fix your mic again.
Hello, hear me?
Yeah, is it your wire?
I don't know.
Who knows?
I saw a funny tweet. I wanted to share it with you guys. One sec. It was about Gage Wood. By the way, that's a great porn star name. It's not Woods, it's Wood.
Wood, yes, Wood.
So this guy tweeted, "Welcome to the Phillies, Gage Wood. I see the entire timeline. Expects you to hammer down key outs in the 8th inning in about 75 days. No pressure, because everybody thinks he's just going to be up here and."
It is kind of wild that's what people are saying. Like, what makes people think he's going to be in the bullpen in October?
Yeah. I guess because he's older and, like, he throws flame. I don't know.
Baseball, the draft is like, I mean, you see guys make it, and they're like the 250th player taken in their class. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really hard.
I know people are comparing him to, who's the pitcher in Boston? Dom,
Crochet.
Yeah. A lot of people are comparing him to Crochet, and I think Crochet came out of started right out of college. So.
I think there's only been like maybe 20 guys in the history of the league that started the same year that they were drafted.
Yeah,
and he's
not a list. It's not a big list at all.
No.
So people compare him to him. So I think that's where people are saying.
And Crochet was like a top pick. Like he wasn't like pick 27th.
Yes.
I think he was probably like pick like 10th, but still.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's probably more so a crapshoot than any other draft you can find. Is probably MLB draft.
And it's hard to kind of say what this does for the future of the team because obviously you don't know what these players will become. However, you think maybe kind of changes their or gives the direction of what their trade deadline could look like. If they're picking up all these pitchers, is a Mick Abel just gone? Like, you have a million pitchers now, trying to build up the pitching, pipeline. Maybe they're going to move a guy like Mick Abel.
I mean, I don't think. I think maybe in the long run, sure, like in the off season or next season, where they could say, okay, we've had a couple of these guys in our system for a year, or half a year. We kind of feel comfortable with it. I just think it's too early to draft all these guys, and then in 2 weeks you're trading pitching pieces that will potentially help you in September and October. So I don't know that it happens like this quickly, but it could happen in the near future where, in the offseason they may say, okay, well, if Abel doesn't get traded at the deadline, we'll trade him in the offseason because we kind of feel like these 2 or 3 guys are going to help us in the next couple of years. But I don't think I buy that today. Maybe in the next couple, months, years, maybe.
You have to draft. I feel like you have to draft pitchers anyway, like
Yeah.
just to because it's so hard to hit on them
Sure.
regardless. You need to have multiple ones to have in the system that you like. That in hopes that one of them pan out. You know what I
Yep.
mean, or are valuable enough at prospect stage that you can trade them for something that can help you now. You know what I mean, and so like I don't know that it's like a cause and effect kind of thing, but there's probably you know if teams always need arms, so I don't what I mean, like whether you're keeping them for to develop so they pitch for you or you move them in other deals. I mean it's not a bad strategy, I don't think, to look at pitcher heavy every year and have like a specific focus on that.
You could be like the Angels and draft like 20 pitchers in the same draft, not hit on any of them.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Never know. You never know in
You could
baseball.
be the Angels.
they come through
That's
so many
true.
systems, like they come through so many levels, like that.
Uh,
You know, you might like really like a guy and he tops out at like double A ball, and you're
Yeah.
just what I mean, and never even get a look at him. You know,
You draft 20
That's
in the same draft. You pick 20 players in the same 20 pitchers in the same draft. One of them has to pan out, and like none of them have. One of them.
Dom, that's a good philosophy to have. Anytime you think the Phillies suck, just remember we could be the
Yeah, they
Angels.
could be the Angels.
it could be the Angels. Yeah.
We could be the Cleveland Browns. We could,
Yes.
we could be the the LA Angels. But we're not.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we'll see what happens at the
Like,
deadline. Obviously,
remember, I'm going to use
Go ahead.
that. I'm going to use that on you eventually. At some point when you
What's
piss me
that?
off in the Fired Up group chat, like I'm gonna when you say like fire Thompson, inevitably when you say Friday when they're losing 2-1 in the 8th inning, I'm just gonna say, just remember what I said. We could be the Angels.
It could be the Angels. Yes, that might calm me down a little bit, and then I'll remember that I want to be more than that. I want this team to win, and I just don't think they have it. But they're in first place at the break, and I guess that's all you can ask for.
Yep.
You know, that they're first place, and you lost Bryce for a bunch of games. You lost Nola for a bunch of games, Alvarado for half the season. Like, things haven't gone well, and they're still in first place. So there's some positive for you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
They still need to get their head out of their ass because I don't think the division's gonna stink forever.
No. I mean, like I don't think the Mets are probably the Mets probably aren't going to be, not with that ownership group. They're probably going to be, they're going to continue to spend and
Yep.
do things like that. I mean, like that seems like it's bottomless. The Braves do a pretty good job of like player development and things like that. I don't think they're going to be bad for that long. You know what I mean? And
Hopefully they are because the Braves are insufferable.
I'm
they
curious
are.
if they're going to sell this draft and who they're going to sell if they do. Like, I think Sale could be moved.
I wish nothing but bad things for the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah.
Dom, we can't hear you anymore. What are you doing over there?
I'm not doing anything.
There you go. Now I can hear you.
I'm curious to see if they sell it all, and if they if they do sell, who they sell.
Yeah.
Like, is Ozzy Albies on the on the table? Is
Ozuna?
for sale? What?
Yeah.
Ozuna?
Ozuna, I think they definitely would trade.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I think the Braves are pretty. They know a deal when they see one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they know. I mean, I do hate the Braves, but they know talent. You know what I mean? And from a developmental standpoint.
And unlike the Phillies, they're not afraid to bring their young guys up to contribute.
Yeah, they do.
So
I'm gonna. We're so lucky we're at the end of the episode because I would argue with you so much right now over that. We're not going to. We're gonna end this on a good note.
I mean, Acuna, Harris, like the Strider, like they bring guys up.
I'm not saying they don't.
Okay.
I'm just saying. No, we're gonna end this on a positive note.
All right, fair enough. I don't know what the positive was, but we'll end.
We'll
on
wait
that.
until the next episode.
Yes, that sounds good. Well, remember where we left off, and we'll pick it up next week. All right, that's all you guys have this week. Nothing else you wanted to talk about. All right, well that will do it for episode 200. Like us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever the kids are calling it. But subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and YouTube as well. And we will see everybody next week for episode 201. We'll see you then.